Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. It is Tuesday, October the 5th, 2021. Our recitation today is Gauri Bairagan Mahalla Chautha on page 165 of the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And the recitation is as follows. साहु हमारा तू धनी, जैसी तू रास दहे, तैसे हम लेही। हर नाम वन जह रंग स्यों, जे आप दयाल होए दे। हम वन जारे राम के, हर वनज करावे दे रास रे रहाओ। लाहा हर भगत धन खटिया, हर सच्चे साह मन पाया। हर जप हर वखर लद्या, जम जागाती नेड़ न आया। होर वणज करे वापारिये, अनंत तरंगी दुख माया। होए जे है वणज हर लाया, फल तेहा तिन पाया। हर हर वणज जो जन करे, जिस कृपाल होए प्रभ देई। जन नानक सौ हर सेविया, फिर लेखा मूल न लेई। This passage, the analogy of traveling traders has been used, and it is used quite often in Gurbani. So the Rahau Pankti says, Hum vanjare Ram ke. We are traders of Ram. And Ram signifying the Supreme Self. Har vanj karave, de ras de. Har vanj karave, de ras re. This is a supplication that we are traveling traders of Ram, and we are asking for the necessary capital, Ras. We have to remember that Ras means resource, capital, but it also means the right way. So in the context of Gurmat, here, Ras can be understood to mean De Ras Re, an appeal to show the right way. We have to ask for the right way. So, Ham vanjare Ram ke, Hari vanj karave. De ras re. Hari vanj karave. It is actually the Har self, the Supreme Self, who is causing us to travel. And so therefore, we are asking for the right path. That's the essence here. And in the first verse, Saahu Hamara Toon Dhani, Jaisi tu ras dehe, taisi hum lehe. So if you recall a ras to be the path, then what is being said here is that you are the Saha. Saha has multiple connotations in Gurbani. It is used as king, for a king, as in Sacha Sa Vartada, Koi na Metan Har. It is used for a banker, for a businessman, the one who owns the capital, as Sacha Sa Sache Vanjare. It is also used as breath, as in Kar Bande Tu Bandagi, Jichar Ghat Mein Saha. So therefore, I bring this up to just stress the importance of context. When we look at a word that has multiple connotations, we have to look at the context of the Shabad. So we know that the context here is Ham vanjare Ram ke. That is the giveaway. It is talking about traveling traders. So therefore it says, Saahu Hamara Toon Dhani. You are our banker. You are the one who owns the capital. What is the capital? The Ras. We talked about it as the right way. So the appeal is, the message here is, you are our banker and you have the capital. The capital being the right way to cultivate Haranam Varnaj Rangasyo, to cultivate the treasure of Haranam, self-knowledge. Je aap dayal hoye de. So to be shown the way is actually an act of benevolence from the Har. So the importance of humility in going down this path. One has to be Gur guided. So using the analogy of a financier, the Guru tells us that the Creator Self is the owner of the domain, the enterprise that we call existence. And the capital of self-awareness is given to us along with the right way, and depending on how we trade, it is either wasted or invested in self-realization. Now let's look at the second verse. Laha har bhagat dhan khatya. Laha har bhagat dhan khatya. Laha means profit, benefit. So the profit of self-knowledge, har, of the self, is earned through bhakti. Bhakti. Because it says here that it's a verb saying that it is the profit of self-knowledge is earned through bhakti. Bhagat dhan khatya. And the treasure of self-knowledge is pleasing to the mind. Har sache sah man paya. It is very pleasant. And har jap, har vakhar laddya. Har jap. The practice of jap is what is needed for the commodity of self-awareness to be loaded onto the mind. So self-awareness is what the mind has to transform itself into. And har jap, that is the practice. If we do that, then jam jagati nirna aya. Jam, the agent of death or the agent of divine justice. If you practice har jap, then you settle your accounts. There will be no demand for what is due. Jagati is a collector. So now we see that the word bhagat, bhakti, is used in Gurmat. We have to understand that in Gurbani, bhakti has its own overtones, which are distinct from other forms of bhakti practiced in India. The primary difference is that in Gurmat, bhakti focuses on developing awareness through jap. And jap is a collection. It is meditative recitation, mental concentration, attentive listening, and practice of Gurbani, Gur Gyan, which is the instruction of the Guru. So you have to, this is an all-encompassing practice. It involves a recitation that is meditative. It involves concentration on what is being read and understood. Suniye, maniye, man ki tapao, attentive listening. That is what will transform the mind. And these activities are called collectively jap. So bhakti in Gurmat is a state of mind. It is a lifestyle, 24/7. It's not something that you do. It is not an act that you perform in the morning or the evening or any specific hour, but it is a lifestyle that is characterized by devotional love and dedication to the word of the Guru. That is what it means here. Hor vanaj kare vapariye anant tarangi dukh maya. Many are the traders engaged in other mercantile excursions. Other mercantile excursions simply means entanglement with the endless influences and impressions of Maya, sense impressions, world play, anant tarangi, tarang waves, mental thoughts that are constant. You get caught, entangled in the inner chatter of the mind. The mind is then just looking through the senses, and the senses are constantly desiring satisfaction. In other words, you get lost. O jahe vanaj harlaya, phal teha tin paya. Now this is interesting to note that Guruji is telling us that even those who are engaged with Maya are doing so under hukam. Hukam, both sides of the fence, it's hukam. So as the self directs them, so is their sojourn on this earth. So this is really a caution. The caution is that to engage in the world without Guru wisdom as our guide is to invite trouble. Because Maya is anantatarangi, it's ceaseless in its desires, and one can never find lasting satisfaction without self-understanding. The last verse reads, Har har vanaj jo jan kare, jise kripal hoye prabh dei. The trade of bhakti is received as a benevolent gift of the Har Self. Jan Nanak saw Har Seviya, fir lekha mool na lai, says Nanak the Seeker. When the self is served, one's accounts are settled. What does it really mean to say that one's accounts are settled? What that means is that we are no longer attaching outcomes to what we do. We are following the rhythm of hukam. Because when you attach outcomes and desire outcomes, then it becomes necessary, according to hukam, for you to experience the outcome. And that is what causes us to experience outcomes as either desirable or undesirable, because we really have no control over what the outcome will be of a given action. And that is the realization that we have to have, that we really don't control the show, that we have to use Gur guidance to deal with any situation that is presented to us at any given moment. Gur wisdom has to be the lens, the prism through which we look at any situation, not through the conditioning of our mind, because that has associations which are based on memory and conditioning and bifurcates the mind into wanting good outcomes only or pleasurable outcomes. But the fact is, the outcome is really beyond us. So therefore, when you attach outcomes, you're forced to experience them and you get caught in the cycle. So the settling of accounts is when you drop your conditioned thinking, when you're no longer attached to the outcomes of what you're doing, but when Guru wisdom is your guide. To put it in everyday parlance, it is saying live in the moment. Be here now, so to speak. Don't be either regretting the past or looking at the future. be here now. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.